into it because I just want to stay out of the controversial.
I gotta hear it.
9/11.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to podcast 45 of the Positive Guys podcast with myself, Fortunato.
Luca and Bella's, but she's under the table.
She's like kind of like licking herself a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make her stay a little bit by herself for a little bit. Guys, welcome back to another podcast. We hope you enjoyed last podcast. We got some really good feedback on it, and you guys were amazing for the views. And you know, you guys are really going to YouTube now, like Luca said. You know,
Yeah, it's been really wild on YouTube. We have had like 9 subscribers in a week.
There you go. So honestly, like you know, we always say as little as the numbers are, at least there's numbers. At least we're gaining stuff, and you know, we just like to see numbers go up because we want to help more and more. So we like to see
even
that.
if we help one person in 1 week, I think it's
something.
our week.
Exactly.
Like sometimes we get messages from people, and it's like
That's awesome.
it feels amazing.
Exactly. Let's jump right into it.
Okay, so our topic is 2020 and like what we've learned from 2020 and what's like what it's brought to us. And like there's a lot of negative things, but there are the positive things, which is us.
The positive guys.
Yeah.
There's more negative than positive, I think. But the thing is that, you know, we remain to what it is that 2020 has brought us many like unfortunate events, if I could say, but unfortunate situations. You know, not deaths. Well, deaths, yes, but not as much as like, you know, sacrifice and stuff like that. But a lot of events that occurred that are gonna be remembered for a long time.
Yeah. Some things for example, the virus. I hate to talk about it, but it's the most annoying thing. In a while, though. Yeah. I think it's the most annoying thing, and it just has to go. It has to go. It has to go.
Yeah, it's annoying. It honestly, it's like it's come to the time where, you know, and it's scary to say because it's coming back for sure. But the thing is, it's like, when are we gonna go back to our regular civilization? When are we gonna go back to being able to live our normal lives? Because I mean, at the point, all our routines changed, and now we're just in a different era where we're used to it, and that's the worst thing is never get used to a situation that is negative.
Yeah,
bad.
I understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm trying to say?
This is too much. This is like taking over our lives. It's controlling what we're doing. Like at a certain point, like you got tested.
Yes.
How was it?
You know, it's honestly it's a very, very scary feeling, and I see it a lot when I got tested, and when I saw kids getting tested, old people getting tested, and it's an uncomfortable feeling, a very disturbing feeling because it's something you never felt before, right?
I agree.
I mean, it's just like it's a feeling that you're like, are we actually experiencing this right now?
But did you feel safe afterwards? Because now like you're technically safe, but like
it's you know, I feel like sometimes like even after you get the test, you feel safer like next day. Yeah. Then the week after, you're like, oh, I can still get affected.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's just like it's sad because this era that we're living in right now is that so many people are getting affected by it. Not even with the virus, just mentally.
Yeah, it's too much. Like some people, like not myself, but like some people, it's the virus is controlling their life.
Yes, exactly.
It is controlling and it's taking over, and they can't do what they want to do, and it's always like it's too much. Like it's too much, and you can't let it get to that extent because you can't even live after. You literally cannot live, and it doesn't make sense to me that you can't live because of a virus. We could live through a virus. We could do it all together.
But you can't live with it.
Just be careful. We take precautions. Exactly. Like there's so many things we could do.
You know what it is that like I did a project last week from a foundation. We did a project a couple of weeks ago actually. I went downtown and I gave like donuts to the poor and the homeless. But this situation that I called Luke on the phone and I told him about a situation that I saw online. Yeah. It was on the paper and it was online and everything about people camping out in the streets. So when I saw people camping out in the streets, I'm like, what's going on? Is it camping season? But people are camping out on the metropolitan. In really like suburban areas, like we said.
Areas that are technically they're not legal to camp there. But like I saw it for myself,
crazy,
and it was actually for your birthday. I saw it on the way to your birthday, and I was in shock. I was like, what? Like these people have turned the outdoors into their home,
and it's sad. Like, it's sad because I talked to some of them, and I talked to one guy, not a lot of them actually. I talked to one guy, and he told me he's like he asked me a question. He says, "What do you think I was doing before this?" And I said, I don't want to offend you, but what were you doing this before this? He goes, I was a store owner. He's like, I owned my own business. I was an entrepreneur. I was selling products online and stuff like that. And he was telling me how he's like this drastic virus affected myself, my whole family, and put me out on the streets to live here. He's like, I was living in an apartment. I wasn't always the richest person, but I was comfortable. And it's just crazy to hear that because a virus that can affect you that you can get rid of. Like you can get the virus, but you can get rid of. But a virus like this affects people in the long run and then in the lifetime, because this guy, to get back on his feet and get back to reality, will take a long, long time before he does that. So it just goes to affect and to show how this virus can not only affect you now, but affect you in the long term. And that's the sad part. Is that it's affecting people mentally, not actually physically.
And it's too much at this point.
Yeah, it's way too much.
And it's like, like we remember things, and this is one of the things we will not forget.
But you don't want to remember.
You won't want to remember it, but you won't forget. And when you hear of masks, like when you're 40 years old, you're going to be like, I just don't want to hear about it.
I don't want to hear about it. But that's, we talked about last time, and how like now, what's cool about it, I got to say, is the truth is that how people are actually adapting to the precautions, like you said before, and how people are moving on with their lives. Because I like to see people like, this is, if you like to say it in the end, this is a big obstacle that we're facing.
And on your days off, how was it? Because you were working and then you took 3 weeks off.
Well, that's what it was.
From then, how was it? Like, how did you experience the world?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. On the 3 days off, I saw a lot.
3 days or 3 weeks?
3 weeks, sorry, 3 weeks. Jeez. On the 3 weeks off, I saw a lot. I enjoyed myself. I did a lot of work for the foundation. I did a lot of work. But one thing I saw is when I was going to cafes and everything like that, like I said before, is I saw how many people are getting comfortable with it, and not comfortable with it, but doing the precautions to be able to respect themselves, respect others, and protect themselves. And that's what I like to see, because at the end of the day, like I said, life's an obstacle, but this virus is an obstacle, and it's cool to see how people are getting through it with protecting themselves and just continuing their lives, because a lot of people's lives have just been stopped and they're not moving on, and that's the worst thing that can happen. Yeah,
it becomes a problem. And honestly, let's move on to another topic.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
This is a very, very touchy topic, and I'm sure you're going to remember. Are you sliding off the chair?
I'm sliding off the chair right now. It's a slippy slide.
Like, one of the topics I did want to talk about with you, which is a very, 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 like, touchy topic. Like, I don't want to go too deep into it, because I just want to stay out of the controversial.
I gotta hear it.
9/11. It's coming, like, it's yesterday. It happened yesterday when this will be uploaded. And, like, it's just, like 9/11, we can't compare it to the coronavirus, but it's something we won't forget, and it's like
I don't like that you brought it up. I like that you're bringing it up now, because
like it's hard. Like, I don't want to talk about it.
It's like not comfortable to talk about, but I like that you brought it up, because people. It's important. Because we have a lot of young viewers that are watching this, and
people that weren't even born. When
I remember at that time, 2001, right?
Yeah.
2001. I was like 6 years old, and I remember actually starting school. Not that day, but I was starting school. I just started school, and I remember hearing of it.
Yeah.
And honestly, after the few years from hearing of it, then every year it comes on TV with a documentary series and everything like that, and all the conspiracies you hear and stuff like that.
Like, I don't want to get too deep into it, but it's sad, it's tragic, and it's something like that. Like, and also, like, I couldn't be reminded. Like,
we have a big picture of New York in back of us.
Yeah, like, I love New York. Yeah, and it's
here,
like amazing.
Here. No, but honestly, it's something that we need to remember, and it's something that we need to remember the lives that we lost, because. And the same thing goes with the virus, understand?
Yeah.
I like that you brought up, because you can really compare the two, not really much, but you can compare the two with the events that occurred.
Yeah. I mean, and I just don't want to go too deep into it, because honestly, I'm scared for what the backlash of it. And some people,
honestly, at the end of the day, it's just like, in both situations, a lot of people lost their lives.
Yeah.
I understand? And in this situation, like you said before, no matter the situation that you were in, people lost their lives, and with this pandemic, and with this event,
similarly to COVID, this has changed and made things different for the rest of our lives.
Exactly, but we must always remember it.
Yeah, exactly. Like airports. Yeah, airports are completely different nowadays because of that situation that happened. True. And now, like COVID, we don't know what's gonna change, because so far it's changed so many things that, like, we haven't found the permanent thing that it's going to change.
I like that you brought it up, because I think the thing that we're facing right now is we're on a steep hill, but we don't know what's coming up.
We just don't know what's coming, because we all think we know what's coming. We were lost at the beginning. Now we think we found out what it is, but
you know what bothers me, and you know what really gets me aggravated, and I have to say it because it's been on my chest since we started the podcast, because sometimes during the week, like when I was on vacation especially, I was talking to like a couple friends I know and everything like that. Yeah. And meeting friends to friends, and they were saying how this like whole thing's a conspiracy. And even with 9/11, I don't want to bring it up, but a lot of people saying it was a conspiracy. And so I just find it's crazy how people can think that this is a conspiracy. I think people can think that this is a false event that's planned.
Yeah.
Guys, people lose their lives over these events. People lose their lives over these crazy situations that are happening. How can you even say something that something's fixed? Understand? At the end of the day, think about it. The government, as much as sometimes they could be corrupt in what you think and which ways they think, the government will never make millions and millions of people lose their lives, hundreds of thousands of people lose their lives. At the end of the day, we're all individuals. We all have hearts. And as much as the community rolls and the world rolls, have a heart and understand that people are losing their lives over this. So be realistic.
And honestly, like this was a very, very, very touchy podcast, and it's not over. But
don't go nowhere.
But there's so many things that have happened in the world and everywhere that we're not seeing on the news because to social media it's not as important. Like the things happening in like we could say Syria, everywhere else.
Exactly. But even we were saying, we brought it up on a podcast one time. Let's go back to it, guys. Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
We talked about the situation with George Floyd. We did a whole podcast on George Floyd. I understand, but look what's occurring right now.
Yeah.
And what's amazing to see is that if you rewind, not even a year ago, okay. If I can say it, African American people were getting killed almost every single day.
Yeah.
From police brutality, police shootings, wrongful events, wrongful occurs of problems. Wrong situation. Yeah. But if you see that one situation, understand that people saw what happened and people saw how wrong it was. People stood up, made a difference, and now look what's happening. Yes, police brutality is still going on and it's disgusting. But whenever a situation now that African American person dies over the police brutality that's given at hand, look at the response that they're given. Cops are going to jail. Cops are getting charged for murder. And that's the things that we want to see.
Yeah.
Because before, cops were always backed up. And now it's beautiful to see that justice is being served.
Yeah, and now we see cameras on them. We see
that's the awesome thing about people.
Yeah, because cameras don't lie.
No, at all.
People do lie, and it's a fact, and you can't do anything about it. But
people are beautiful. Honestly, at the end of the day, people really make a difference. In 2020, if it's something that happened that the worst day of our lives, it's one of the best things I've ever seen when it comes to racial justice and racism in general.
It literally summed up everything that we've been living for a long time. Just slowly, people were slowly getting affected by things, but no one would care. But now it's so
it's so compact.
It came in so strong that the slam made a noise for everyone, and everyone's
I just feel like now that this decade has changed, it's 2020. I just feel like now people are just fed up. Yeah. People are just fed up with the system. People are fed up with how the government works, how people manage themselves, and people are really raising their hand and saying that this is wrong. This is not right.
Yeah, people are realizing that it's not okay. Something that's are going on, even if the government is our boss or secretary or whatever they are to us.
Exactly.
We this is a funny line, but we pay taxes.
Exactly. We have control of ourselves.
Yeah, and we want the police to be as good as to anyone. People have to, you said, people have to be treated well. Everything has to be obviously we're not living in a 100% perfect life.
But we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
I understand. At the end of the day, I feel like all the events that are occurring now with justice, the social system, whatever's happening, these are events that we're going to remember and we're going to get better at. We're gonna build a strategy to be able to defend ourselves against these crimes, defend ourselves over these problems, these obstacles, and we're gonna be able to be a better society, a better people, and better community.
Exactly.
And that's just beautiful because who knows down the line in the next 10 years, 2030 comes up, what's gonna occur in another decade? Maybe these, hopefully no one gets killed. Hopefully no police brutality, no virus is existent. So just keep striving, just keep fighting, and just keep yourself in a positive mindset. And as a positive guy say all the time, stay positive no matter what the situation at hand.
Yeah, because the situation is going to change day and night. Literally, you might think it's so bad in the moment because you're living through it. And then you wake up tomorrow and you're like, oh shit, I did over exaggerate. And it does happen to everyone. It happens it happens and there's nothing you can do to make it stop happening. But what you could do is reflect before.
There you go.
Reflect on the situation of COVID-19. Reflect on 9/11. Reflect on everything. Don't forget. I don't want people to forget history because history
is very important.
And it repeats itself. If we forget it, it's gonna
But honestly, guys, at the end of the day, I think from this whole podcast that we just spoke about, I think the biggest thing to take from it is use your voice.
Yeah.
Understand? We use our voice every single week to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Understand? If you have something that has to be spoken, if you have something that you want to say that's not right or it's injustice or you just want to say it, just speak.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was voice crack.
Yeah, that was loud.
Voice
too.
crack of the episode. We got him on tape. But just speak. Don't be scared to see who's gonna give their opinion. Like we always say, no matter what you say, understand the person back you is gonna say something.
As long as you don't offend anyone,
Don't
as long
offend
as you're
anyone.
not directly insulting someone, it doesn't
Exactly.
matter. It won't.
But no matter what words you say, it's always gonna offend somebody, no matter what.
Yeah, that's
So
why I don't want to.
just don't offend somebody directly.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to bring up like so many like sensitive topics because one day when we feel comfortable, we're gonna go into really deep topics and like of like many things, like maybe even our personal lives, things that have happened that we've never spoken of on camera. But like for now, we just like
we're voicing our opinion now, we're voicing our thoughts now, but who knows what down the line will bring.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, thank you once again for tuning in to Podcast 45. It was an awesome podcast.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was awesome to talk to you guys. My name is Fortunato.
And my name's Luca.
We'll see you next week. That was awesome.
That was really good. The camera was just about to die.
That was